Welcome to the BrokeMans podcast.
Good morning and welcome to the BrokeMans podcast. Today I am here with a good friend of mine, Sonny's Corner. Good morning, Sonny.
Hey, good morning, Gary.
All right, we are going to kick it off with gratitude, and I am very thankful today for coffee and friends.
Oh my God, that was phenomenal this morning. Just actually being able to sit down and talk with everybody. I am grateful for, I guess a big one for me from yesterday and today is determination and being able to push forward, and also like being able to sit down and kind of share like my progress and everything with you guys too. Like
I
from
like
this
that.
morning.
I like that. All right, we are going to get right into it today with more realistic life and positivity, and we're going to start off with some affirmations. First, I am worthy of my own time, love, and energy.
Ooh, I like that one. I give myself compassion. I think that's a big one for me.
Why so? Really quick.
So I give myself compassion. I think compassion and grace kind of go together. And I actually had this in my notes too. Compassion plus grace equals love. And I think that's big. Like, because if you don't give yourself grace, if you don't give yourself that compassion, you're not going to see the small wins in today.
All right. I choose to invest in my growth, in my healing every day, whether that's meditating, reading books, journaling, reflection, walking in nature, being by yourself.
Yeah. I would say there is joy and beauty in life. Like we take so much for granted in this life and everything too. And I think sometimes we have to slow down and just enjoy the beauty, enjoy the peace and serenity in life as well.
Caring for myself is not selfish, it is essential.
Ooh.
It is a vital piece of life and yourself and the ones that are around you. Take care of yourself so you can manage yourself better around people, especially if you have a partner or kids. Yep. You can manage yourself, you can read their energy, and you can give off something good that can adjust situations.
Yep. And I think that's going to be big on what we talk about today too. And I think the last one for me today is happiness is a choice that I choose. It's a choice that we make every day. You know, you can choose to be sad. You can choose to be, just mean and arrogant and all these things. But I choose to be happy every single day because happiness is what brings people together. It helps kind of almost alter the energy in a room.
I like that. I release guilt for putting myself first when needed.
And this kind of goes into our topic of today, too.
Go for it, Sonny's Corner. Go for it.
So today's topic that I kind of brought to Gary, and I think he agrees with this, too, is pouring into yourself. And this was actually a topic that I was going to talk about on my channel, but I think it's a better idea to share it on this one.
You can still do that.
I will. But I think it's a good idea to share this experience with you, too, because we've seen a lot of that over the past few months, too, from, my time being out here to actually being able to sit down with you and the group and, really working on that pouring into myself for me, for sure.
All right. What are we starting with first, my guy?
So this is actually
First.
So this is actually one of the topics that you brought up in your affirmations, being selfish. For you, what is being selfish?
Being selfish is knowing that I have to say no sometimes in order to take care of myself. Being selfish is telling somebody, hey, this morning routine, my hour when I wake up is for me, so I can't go to coffee today. Being selfish is being able to say no and realize when you need to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Be selfish when you know, okay, today I am not feeling it. I am not feeling social. I normally push myself, but today I need to take time and be by myself. Yeah. I need to isolate in a healthy way, or I need to pour back into my spirit and into my body.
And that goes into like a psychological aspect almost.
Yes.
And I know we both are kind of this way too. We are both very extroverted introverts.
Go the other way. I'm introverted, extroverted.
So I consider myself definitely an extroverted introvert in the sense of like, I love my social time and everything, but man, like as soon as that social battery gets tapped out, it's donezo for me.
I've learned to love my social time.
Yeah.
And I've done that through being self-aware and being intentional about my time and the time I pour into my friends. Yeah. Being intentional with the people that are around me and where I am welcomed and celebrated, not where I am tolerated.
And I think it's interesting you bring up being intentional, because I think you
Yes.
have to be intentional, especially, in our setting too. We talk about that all the time in our group, being intentional, standing by your word. That was actually one of your videos from, right at the
Yeah.
beginning of this whole thing, being intentional and standing by what you say too.
Standing by what you say. I like that.
Yeah, I think that's
Stand
huge.
on your word.
Stand on your word.
Men, women, and children.
Shout out to Max for that one though too.
Yeah,
I mean, Max was a huge one.
Yeah,
on
stand on your word.
that. I think the next topic is loving yourself too.
How so?
So loving yourself to me means taking care of yourself, speaking positively about yourself, and I think that's big too, because there's a lot of times where you look in the mirror or you kind of almost envy those around you for what they have.
What changes when you speak positive into yourself? How do you speak positivity into yourself? How do you pour that good energy into yourself? How do you pour into yourself with that?
So for me, like I definitely feel like it's helped me significantly by not comparing myself to others, because I know that I am an individual, not part of a group. Like you can still be part of a group, but still have your individuality on top of all that too. So, we have a lot of guys in our group. A lot of guys are into fitness. I'm really kind of starting off on my journey and everything too, knowing that I am not at the same caliber as some of you guys, but I am making progress to get there.
And you accept yourself and love yourself for that?
Oh my God, yes. Oh my God, yes. Because
That is powerful.
Yeah,
Seriously.
because I see the You guys see the progress that I've
I
made
see
and
the
everything
progress.
too.
Your clothes see the progress. Your clothes definitely see the process.
Yeah.
The progress. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
So definitely that speaking positive aspect, taking time to reflect on that progress and taking time to reflect on those affirmation, those gratitudes and everything too.
And looking at your accomplishments.
Yes. Yes.
Reflect on that and look like, wow, I
Yep.
did it. I made that little step that added up to all this.
I got up this morning, I took a shower, or I went to the gym today, or hey, I had a conversation with somebody and I was intentional with that relationship today.
I do like when we go, even going all the way back to the beginning of being very intentional.
Yeah.
Be intentional with the relationships in your life.
Yeah.
Your friends, be intentional with them.
Yep.
Be truly, it feels a lot better when you are very intentional.
Yeah.
And it feels a lot better because you have a safe space with your true friends.
Oh.
And you can say like, hey, I don't have it in me this week, or I don't have it in me today, and I just need to isolate for a little bit.
Yep. And how many times have we talked about
Oh,
that
man,
too,
it
where
feels
we
good that I
just-
could say
it
like,
does.
hey, not today, bro.
Yeah, like hey, like
Not today.
No messing around today. I'm not
Yeah,
feeling.
I don't
that.
have
And
it today.
Yeah, and that's totally healthy. That's normal. Not everybody is going to be, in the words of my videos,
Go for it.
a little ray of sunshine all the time kind of thing. You're not always going to be that, but if you start to speak positively, you're going to see that difference. You're going to see that change, and people are going to recognize you for that.
I'm about to give you a big shout out right now.
Uh-oh.
Because when we speak to positivity and we are saying that we are speaking life into ourselves, and just for this moment right here where we're at in this safe space, you have not said a curse word yet. I am so proud of you, and let's
Thank you.
keep it going.
Thank you.
Wow.
I don't plan on it this one, so
No, man,
I'll save
that's-
that for mine.
Say it. Oh. Don't do it, Gary.
And then the last one that I have for kind of being in love with yourself is taking that time to be alone. Taking that time to, because that goes into that self-reflection period. That goes into being happy with being alone. And that pours into your relationships and everything too. Because if you aren't happy by yourself, what makes you think you're going to be happy in a relationship?
I spoke about this last podcast
Yeah.
about, first, there's two things I have to say about this. I'll say the first one.
Okay.
About putting your happiness in someone else's hands
Yeah. Oh,
is
that's
a true burden.
Yeah.
It is a true burden. Do not give anybody your happiness. That is a burden. And I speak that from experience on both ends. Getting handed someone's happiness, like, what do I do with all this?
Yeah.
Like, no, thank you. And then I also gave that to somebody, too, and it broke me.
And it feels so heavy.
It broke me.
on
It is
you.
very heavy. Like, okay, what do I have to do next to make them happy, to keep them
Yeah.
happy? And then that goes into oh, man.
It almost feels like you're walking on eggshells a lot of the time.
You are
doesn't it?
walking on eggshells the whole time.
So kind of going into that too, that reflection period we talked about a little bit. Avoid codependency.
Oh, wait. Let me avoid codependency. Let me finish the second point
Go
that I
ahead.
had. I
Yeah.
am so sorry. We brought up something right before when it was taken care of. Sorry, I can't remember. trying to remember this about loving yourself. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, loving yourself and being in love with yourself. I remember one of my breakthrough periods was me meditating, and I kind of had to spiritually hug myself.
Yeah. What did that look like for you when
tears.
you okay.
Tears, vulnerability
Okay.
moment, but it was tears. It was me meditating and sitting down, silence. It was complete silence, no music, no meditation music, no piano, no nothing, no outside noise. I was in a quiet room in my apartment, and I remember meditating, and I was there, and it was like 10 to 15 minutes into it. And I just kind of just hugged myself a little bit. I don't know what I was feeling, but I just need to let something go. And after that, boo-hoo, cried like a newborn baby.
But it's so healing, though.
Safe
too.
space.
God, it's so healing. There are times where do you remember the day that I called you and I was like, hey, I'm going through it, and I just like immediately, you're like, what's going on? And I was like, just lost it.
It's not funny, but when you do that, bro, it's funny.
I lost it, and
it was needed.
And it was the day that my mom sent me that package and everything too, and I was just sitting there and I was like, man, like I miss home. Like I miss my mom, miss my dad. Like that was hard for me. That was